My name is Emma Ann Lay. I am a senior at Winthrop University and my sport is volleyball. Winthrop was just the perfect size and I loved how close it was to Charlotte, being that I want to go into sports broadcasting anyway. So there were many opportunities surrounding Winthrop and the area for me to continue my career past college. When I was actually around 7 or 8 years old, I was actually watching Maria Taylor cover Georgia football, which was coincidental because she actually went to Georgia and played volleyball and basketball there. And I remember watching her and just saying, wow, I want to be her. I want to do exactly what she's doing. And I remember telling my mom from that age how I was like, I want to do that. That's what I want to do. And my mom, of course, she pushed it off. She was like, okay, this is a phase, it'll go away. But here we are almost, like 15 years later and I'm still doing it and I'm actively pursuing it. So I've always wanted to do this. It's been my first career choice and it's now my forever career choice. My major is mass communication with a concentration in sports broadcasting. My internship manager, Mario Washington, actually is a Winthrop alumni. He knew a couple of my professors here and I had 3 of my professors who all said, you should definitely reach out to Mario. Here is all of his contact information. He would love to have you. You do great there. And so I met with Mario in about February of this year. We had a good conversation and right on the first interview he was like, I'd love to have you come on. And I spent the entire summer there. It was great. It was so much fun. There were a lot of things I had to do school-wise. I had to make sure that the internship was credible for Winthrop and I had to make sure it met the credit requirements so I could get class credit for it. I wrote web stories. They all got posted on our website. I got to go with them to a couple events and we did some live broadcasts. So one of them was from the National Children's Shriners Association event that happened in downtown Charlotte. And we got to meet 2 of the national representatives that were children and one of them was a girl that plays Division I soccer and she has a disability. So it was really awesome to see that. I also got to go to the ACC Media Week kickoff. So I got to meet all of the QB1s at all the ACC schools. I got to meet the coaches, we got to interview, I sat in on the press conferences, I actually asked Drake May at UNC a question. I really got to see what it was like to be an actual journalist in this field and surrounding especially the Charlotte area. Right around my 2nd week when Mario started to get to know me a little better, he actually told me, he was like, I really think you should try and get this internship with the Panthers Network. I think this would be really great. I know the guy that's over there that is the internship manager. I think you do really well there. Like, you should definitely interview for it. And I actually interviewed for it and ended up getting it. So I'm actually working for the Panthers now. So I think just that moment of him realizing who I was as a person, leading to more connections, and just him becoming my mentor in that moment, and it's ultimately led me to where I am now. Typically on game days, we either run the local and network commercials breaks for the radio, or we'll trim up highlights as the game is going. So the entire game will be recorded in a system and we'll go through and trim up the highlight plays as the game is continuing to be recorded. So it's like really quick, fast-paced work, but we also coordinate with a lot of the press that's there because we're in the press line. And so there's tons of people there every home game. It's a really cool atmosphere and we get to meet former players that come in for interviews, and I actually got to sit in when we interviewed Frank Wright at the last home game, so it was really cool. I don't think I'd be anywhere where I am today if it weren't for the fact that I was playing volleyball, because ultimately when I look back, volleyball is the reason I'm at Winthrop. It's the reason that I'm here with these people, and it's the reason I've made these connections, because if I wasn't playing this sport, I probably wouldn't be going to school here. I probably wouldn't be in Charlotte. I wouldn't have the opportunities to have these internships located here. And so without volleyball, none of this would have gotten here. But I also think that just the idea of playing a team sport and getting the experience of working with people so often is what helps me grow in an atmosphere of sports broadcasting, because it's so much intercodependency upon each other to do one thing or another, and it's all intertwined on so many levels. So just having the experience of such a hardcore team atmosphere has really led me to be successful. So I probably will start off as a sideline reporter. So right now the goal is sideline reporter. I don't care what sport, as long as it's a sport, I'm good. But I want to be on ESPN or Fox.